Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. A beautiful day here at the LMU Soccer Complex on the campus of Lincoln Memorial University for the 2013 season opener for the Lady Rail Splitters under the direction of head coach Helio Dana. Only a year ago, this Lady Rail Splitters soccer team finished the season with a 7-7-2 record. They only lost a few players from last year's squad. They brought in 4 new faces to this year's team, and they have got a host of returning players that look to lead this team, hopefully back to the upper echelon of the South Atlantic Conference regular season and tournament race a little bit later on this year. Today they opened the year against the Asbury University Eagles. It looks to be an interesting battle today. Asbury's already played 3 matches this season. As we said, this will be the Lady Rail Splitters season opener, and for LMU, this will be a good tune-up match, win or lose, for the remainder of the schedule, because they will jump right into the fire as they take on the University of Alabama at Huntsville this Sunday. And, of course, after that, North Georgia and Coker on the road to open the South Atlantic Conference schedule on September 14th. The Lady Rail Splitters with still relatively a young team in terms of the personnel that they have. Only 2 or 3 seniors on this year's squad, and that's going to be interesting to see how they adapt and who's going to emerge as the team leaders both on and off the field, verbally and physically. Let's look at the starting lineup quickly. First of all, for Asbury, Lizzie Hoffa, also Maddie Hahn, Samantha Chanda, Rebecca Blackburn, Meredith Urey, Madison Mitchell, Sloan Salisbury, Jenna Bird, Katie Hale, and Riley Smith, as well as Victoria Thompson, will be the starters. Hoffa, of course, in the net. For the Lady Rail Splitters, Kayla Stevens, Lauren Dusold, Krista Holka, Kristen Cook, and we're underway. Also, Brittany Jenkins, Christina Joseph, Michelle Hunter, Josephine Hedstrom, Nicole McKinney, Olivia Thompson, and Sam Adams. Kayla Stevens starts in the net. And right away, the Lady Rail Splitters try to get their structure here as they send it up toward the midline. Now, a lot of new faces this year in the lineup, so it's going to be difficult for me to pick people out. Here's McKinney trying to make something happen in the midfield. Passes up. Nice pass up the near side to Hunter. Hunter inside the box, takes a shot off the right side and goes wide right. So that'll be a goal kick for the Eagles of Asbury. Folks, this is the first ever soccer match that we have broadcast here from the Lincoln Memorial University campus. Personally, I've done one other one in my life, and that was in 2007 when the Lincoln Memorial University Rail Splitters defeated the University of Montevallo in the semifinals of the NCAA Division II National Tournament. Goal kick out of the box, LMU contesting defensively. And a foul on the Lady Rail Splitters with a push from behind. I believe that was Joseph that was called for the harm. Now, we're quite a ways from the action here today, so, again, tough to see the numbers up here in terms of calling the match, but that's the magic of video, as you have the opportunity to see it yourself, and we don't have to call everything. Nice touch pass by Hedstrom. Making the run this time is Dusold. Cross to the top of the box, and that'll go wide to the far side of the field and most likely run out of bounds and be going back to Asbury. As we mentioned earlier, the Lady Rail Splitters had a host of players returning from last year's squad. Leading the way, preseason all-conference performer Sam Adams and, of course, Josephine Hedstrom. Others that are looked at to be major contributors this year will be Nicole McKinney and most likely a couple of the younger players that Coach L has been talking about and has brought in this year. Lady Rail Splitters comprised primarily of sophomores and juniors, only 4 new freshmen, and about 3 seniors. So still a very young team and one that has probably its best soccer ahead of it. Pass by Hunter to the left side. Again, it's McKinney. Crosses one into the box. Joseph couldn't make the touch, and now it's Dusold. And again, the shot wide right. One of the problems last year the Lady Rail Splitters had, according to Coach Dana, was scoring goals. And he believes that this year, while they don't have one such as the men's team like a Mario Pinto, he does have quite a few players that should be able to give him anywhere between 7 and 10 goals before the season's end. So if you've got more players out there that have that threat of scoring, why certainly you can have a better chance of pulling out those close matches that they lost a year ago. And as we said, they did have 2 ties. They were 7-7-2 overall for the season. Asbury trying to get it across the midline. Nice defensive pressure by LMU. That's been their prowess over the last few years. They've been very defensively strong. Dusold took it back. Now clearing it is Adams. And that one touched into the backfield. Sam Adams will recover. Sends it up the far sideline. Again, hard to see the numbers. That was Sloan Salisbury that had it stolen away right there, and now recovering for his Salisbury. And that will go out of bounds to Lincoln Memorial. Rail Splitters opening the season on Thursday down in Montevallo, Alabama against Eckerd College. LMU losing a tight one in overtime, 3-2 the final there. So Rail Splitters will have to wait until their bout with the Chargers of the University of Alabama Huntsville on Sunday to get in the win column. They're 0-1 on the season. It's been a long time since the Rail Splitters, I believe, started off with a loss in the opening game. And for the Lady Rail Splitters, as we understand it, heading into this afternoon's bout with Asbury, they've won 9 straight on their home opener. There's a cross that comes off the leg of an Asbury player, and that'll put the ball in the corner for a corner kick. And it looks to be Nicole McKinney. Actually, no, it will be Josephine Hedstrom that will head over to the far corner to try to get something going for the Lady Rail Splitters. We're just underway here in Harrogate. A little less than 5 minutes into this 45-minute half. Cross into the box. Nice-looking cross. Dangerous shot off the left side, deflected by one of the players, not the keeper. And now the ball cleared out as it appears Dusold will recover. Lady Rail Splitters still on the attack. Dusold with a cross to the middle of the field over the head of Olivia Thompson. And that one riding off into the corner. LMU will still hold possession. The cross into the box. Going up tightly that time was Michelle Hunter, and it looked like she was sandwiched between a couple of players. Here's Hedstrom from the middle. Touch pass a few feet away. Gets it over to McKinney. McKinney off the left side has it knocked away, and that was last touched by Madison Mitchell of Asbury, and that'll give LMU another corner kick from the near side of the field. 39-16 remaining in the first half of play. Still scoreless, just underway. Rusty Peace here with your call of Lady Rail Splitters soccer, and there's a header that goes wide off the left side, and that'll be a goal kick for Asbury. Lincoln Memorial picked back in the field, in the middle of the field of the South Atlantic Conference race this year by the coaches throughout the league. That ball knocked out of bounds. That'll be LMU ball again with the throw in from the near side, and that'll be Dusold to put it into play. But Dana believes that this team has a high ceiling if they can put things together earlier. He said great chemistry on this year's squad. Asbury has had a rough time getting it across midfield here in the first few minutes. LMU's defensive pressure has been relentless. And Asbury will finally get it across the midline, but now a foot race for the ball over into the deep corner. A lot of pushing going on. Asbury comes up with it. Joseph gets it at the top of the box, sends it back out toward midfield. And Asbury will get it back across the midline. Katie Hale contested by a couple of Lady Rail Splitters and again knocked out of bounds by Asbury as LMU will again take over possession near midfield. LMU, of course, tends to mimic the style of Coach Dana, who is a Brazil native. And that ball touched out of bounds on the end line by Lincoln Memorial. What I mean by that is, for the most part, you have a lot of programs throughout the United States that tend to play direct style of soccer. A lot of it, the slang term would be long ball. But Coach Dana is a possession-style player. Now, it's kind of a hybrid because he does on the men's team have so many European players, but he does have some Brazilians as well. And so it is a hybrid play. Now, for the women, the possession style is there, but they, as we said, have had their problems offensively, and they've got to get it together and get somebody who's going to be the primary scorer this year. Another young lady who's expected to do some things, had a really good season last year, was I don't have that roster directly in front of me. I said that a little prematurely. And I was referring to Savannah Pitt. Pitt, a 6-foot junior midfielder out of Gallatin, Tennessee. And LMU now with a goal kick as that ball was last touched out of bounds by Asbury. Quickly up to midfield, and a foul from behind, I believe, on the Eagles. Or was that on Lincoln Memorial? Apparently a foul on the Lady Rail Splitters. Sometimes the officials see it just the exact opposite that we see it up here. Deflection at midfield. Recovered by the Eagles. And on the run, it's Sloan Salisbury. Cross intercepted by McKinney. Angle pass, great run. Not an offside call. She's got a 1v1 here. Shot from near the top of the box. Probably should have carried on in a little bit from the 18, but did not. Chose to shoot it, and that was Olivia Thompson. When you've got a 1v1 situation right there, you take it as close as you can, and then you just let one fly. And there's a foul on Lincoln Memorial, as that was basically a takedown. And we're not wrestling today, but looked like the Asbury defender was thrown to the ground by LMU's Josephine Hedstrom. Hedstrom, of course, a Sweden native. 5'8" sophomore, had a pretty good season last year offensively. Here's Kristen Cook out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Gives it up to Joseph. Back out to midfield. Brittany Jenkins touches. Over to Cook again. Now Michelle Hunter to the far side. Cook to Joseph, just kind of touching the ball around each other here, trying to find an opening in the seam. Cook up the far sideline. Cross into the box, and that'll be taken by the keeper. So while LMU has threatened a time or two, the Asbury defense has held tightly. Punt to the near sideline. Dussold sends it back into Hedstrom's grasp as she works it up the near sideline. Pass intercepted now by Mitchell. Slight touch over to Bird. Now the long pass up the near sideline and a foot race to it in the backfield. LMU backfield, that is. Tightly contested ball. That's a little closer than Coach Dana would like to see that particular situation. Again, this is the inaugural broadcast of Lincoln Memorial University Soccer. We have never, ever before broadcast a soccer match from the campus of Lincoln Memorial, and it's all been made possible through the technologies that we now have, and, of course, the generous contribution of Dr. Ronald Dubin of Middlesboro, who gave a substantial contribution to help build a press box facility here that would shelter our director, of course, and our sports information staff, and, of course, yours truly. So we actually have a place to broadcast from. As you see, both teams getting after it at midfield. Give you a little crowd noise that I hadn't given you before. I apologize for that. Throw in from the far sideline for the Lady Rail Splitters. Long pass to Joseph off the head of an Asbury player. And now here's Hedstrom at midfield. Quick pass to the near sideline. This is McKinney. Not a 1v1, but very close. McKinney with the angle, chips one over across the box. And unfortunately, Olivia Thompson couldn't get there in time. That was another golden opportunity. And it appears, at least for the time, the goals tend to elude the Lady Rail Splitters as they did much of last season. Just a beautiful run that time, an even better pass by Hedstrom. Asbury at midfield. Hedstrom contesting. Now the long ball up the field, and that's going to be gobbled up by the keeper inside the box. Punt back across midfield. Taken down off the touch by Chanda. Cook with a touch pass. Joseph not able to hold, and now Chanda gets it back. And that ball lost out of bounds by Asbury as LMU gets possession with 31-35 remaining in the first half. Long pass to Hedstrom, off the foot of an Asbury player, and now the head. Joseph trying to pull it down, can't do it. This is Cook battling over there. Ball basically just being knocked around. And again, here's McKinney. Chip pass up to, I believe that's Hunter. Hunter has the angle, somebody showing support. And a nice job by Asbury to get back in there and prevent an easy goal. Here's a shot by Joseph across the box. Might have been a pass, hard to really tell. Nonetheless, it was wide left. And so LMU getting the opportunities, and I can hear Coach L now from years past, just girls keep working, it will come, it'll happen. And that's the belief that he has. If you just keep chipping away at it, eventually you're going to find your mark. So here's the goal kick for Asbury as we are about 29.5 minutes into this contest. That one off the head of Nicole McKinney. Hedstrom brings it down. Chip pass stolen away by Bird, and now knocked back by Dussault. McKinney trying to shake the defenders, forced to drop back a bit across the midline to Sam Adams. Adams with a great takeaway there. Chip pass up, and here's the run by LMU's Michelle Hunter, and unfortunately, the linesman on the far side of the field calls her for offside. McKinney contesting. Joseph with the steal.
Go inside, go inside.
Joseph on the run. Takes it in the left side of the box, crosses it over, and it's stolen away by Sloan Salisbury. And Salisbury contested by Joseph as she knocks it out of bounds. Still scoreless here in Harrogate. Beautiful view of the field here today from the press box, and the field in excellent shape. Coach Dana works diligently on this, well, in baseball we would call it the yard, but Bermuda surface, and looks like carpet today. Very, very nice look. I saw him lining the field earlier this afternoon and just taking great pride in the look of this this field and venue. Here's Hedstrom. Chip pass far side over to Cook. Taken away by Blackburn of Asbury, and that'll be LMU ball on the far side of the field with a throw in. Inbound to Thompson. Dussault at midfield denied and taken away again by Bird. Got a substitution, I think, in the lineup for Asbury. I see a number 7 out there that I don't have on my roster. Here's the run to the box. Asbury with an opportunity, and that ball is going to be knocked out by Lincoln Memorial. So for the first time this afternoon, the Eagles will have a corner kick from the far deep corner. 28-13 remaining in the first half, scheduled for 2 45-minute halves of play. And, of course, if this should go to overtime, they would play 10-minute overtime periods, and they would play only 2 if they go scoreless to break the tie throughout that period. Cross into the box, intercepted by Cook, and she'll clear it out of the backfield for the Lady Rail Splitters. Asbury regains possession. Shot deflected that time, and it was by that number 7 that we have not yet identified, and now it's gobbled up by the LMU keeper, Kayla Stevens. Get a check for you on that name. Here's a run up the near sideline. Great run. Lauren Dussault takes a shot, and it's wide left. LMU just seeing huge goals in their eyes in terms of the opportunities they have, and just can't capitalize on it thus far. So the unidentified Asbury player, as we have it, is Tori Howard, who entered the lineup a few moments ago, and she has been very mobile and active here early. Here's Lizzie Hoffa, the keeper, with the goal kick. Taken away by the Lady Rail Splitters. Thompson up to Hunter. Cross out the backside, and that again will be Asbury ball. Beautiful afternoon here in the Harrogate area. We had a lot of rain last week. This week, throughout the weekdays, no rain in the forecast, so a beautiful day for soccer. A little bit warm today, but you know, I've seen some soccer matches out here that have taken place in just frigid conditions, and I'm sure the ladies would rather have it a little warm than they would cold. Another LMU substitution in the lineup. There's a shot off the top of the box, just over the crossbar, and that was Maddie Nagy, a 5'9" sophomore out of Rockledge, Florida. She took one from about 30, probably 30 yards out, and just a shade lower, and that one would have found the back of the net. 25-40 now remaining in the first half, and that one touched out of bounds by Lincoln Memorial. Lady Rail Splitters, if you haven't figured it out already, wearing the home white tops, and Asbury in the purple uniforms with white numerals. Inbound pass contested, taken down by the Lady Rail Splitters. Pass up to midfield, and this time it is Hunter. Over to McKinney. McKinney with a great run to the box, going to go head-to-head with the keeper, and the keeper slides in and takes it away. Quick outlet roll pass to Madison Mitchell. Now up to Bird. Touch pass over to Chanda. This is Hale from the middle of the field. Touch pass up to the midfield line. And stolen away by the Lady Rail Splitters. That is, I believe, Nagy again who took it away. Now it's Asbury that steals it. And Asbury knocks it out of play. That'll be Lincoln Memorial ball on the near sideline. Inbound pass to LMU's Michelle Allen, who checked in a few moments ago. McKinney back towards center field. Touch pass taken by Asbury. Now LMU gets it back and then gives it back to the Eagles. There's Marissa Kiernan, who checked in a moment ago. Hard to see the substitutions when they come in from over here as well. 24 minutes to play in the half. Lady Rail Splitters with possession, and a foul from behind by Asbury. Well, LMU will have a I'm going to show my soccer ignorance. I'm not sure if this is a direct or indirect kick. I'm told in the background direct. Clock continues to run. Cross into the box. Off the hands of the keeper. And a scrap for the ball. The keeper showing a lot of mobility as she grabbed that one up after knocking it away. Here's Maddie Hahn. Pass now up to Meredith Urey. And taken away by Lincoln Memorial. In the defensive backfield for the Lady Rail Splitters now, that is Krista Holka. And LMU's pass up the field is lost out of play. Another substitution for the Eagles checking into the lineup. A lot of shuttling of players. The clock does not stop at this point in the game with the substitutions. And the new Eagle player will have identified momentarily. I believe that's going to be, that'll be Shonda Painter, or Shanda Painter. Kristen Cook battling for the inbound. Plays it back. Now the kick up the far sideline to midfield. And knocked back towards the center of the real estate. At midfield, that's Hunter. And a foul called on Asbury. Very physical game out there this afternoon. Clock slowly winding toward the end of the first half. We've still got about 20-some-odd minutes, and that ball played into the box and lost through the hands of the keeper. If she was not as mobile as she is, that ball would have gone right into the net. That would have been considered an own goal, I believe, but then again, who sent it, it could have actually belonged to. There's the Lady Rail Splitters with the intercepted pass. Teresa Doyle plays the ball to the near sideline. McKinney touches it back to Michelle Allen. Now over to Doyle. Doyle not being contested at all. Nice touch pass across. Here's Nagy. And Nagy plays a shot right at the keeper. The keeper has been very strong here early for Asbury, but she has not been really tested severely yet. She's had all of those shots fired right at her. Cook battling on the far sideline. That ball knocked out of bounds by Lincoln Memorial. LMU, of course, in the season opener today. Asbury still looking for their first victory. They are 0-3 on the season. Here's Allen from midfield. Touch pass up to Nagy. And now running the near side, it's Kiernan. Long pass over on the near sideline. On the run, it's McKinney in the corner. Pass out to Allen. Allen off the left side, fires with the left shot, finds the corner! LMU crowd excited there. That was Michelle Allen, who checked in a few moments ago. Placed a beautiful shot into the upper right corner from the left side. And the Lady Rail Splitters, just like that, are on top 1-0 with 20:38 remaining in the first half. LMU just chipping away at that Asbury defense. And sooner or later, you knew when the keeper was challenged that she was going to give up a goal, and that was just the case right there. LMU just kept on applying that pressure, and Michelle Allen had a beautiful shot that she placed perfectly in that corner. 1-0 Lincoln Memorial. Asbury trying to find the equalizer now as they move it up the field. Touch pass up to the Eagles painter, now across. And taking it down, it'll be Sloan Salisbury to the far sideline. With possession, it's Andrea Hasek. Lady Rail Splitters still contesting. That ball knocked out of the end zone, and that'll be LMU ball with a goal kick. Great goal to start off the season with. I mean, you know, you see goals that a lot of people think, well, that's a weak goal, but there was no doubt about that one from the time that it left Allen's foot. It was heading for the nylon. Long pass up the field, reeling it in. It's Hunter. Hunter now in a race to the box with a defender. Not a 1v1 situation, but fires anyway, and that'll come off of the Asbury defender, and that will be LMU corner kick from the far corner. Trotting over there to take the kick will be Marissa Kiernan. Clock winding again, 18:50 to play in the half. Here's Kiernan's corner. Into the box, punched out by the keeper. Shot from the left side by Cook, and that'll go out the back, and that'll be a goal kick for the Asbury Eagles. Another substitution for Asbury. LMU with an interception. Here's Allen again. Allen with a touch pass into the box, just a little bit strong that time. And that will again go to Asbury. You talk about the strength of schedule that this Lady Rail Splitter team has got to contend with. I mean, you know, they have less than 48 hours before they'll square off in their second match of the season. And I can promise you that the level of competition is going to go up drastically when they go down to Huntsville, Alabama to take on the Chargers of UAH. That ball knocked out of bounds by Doyle off the head. And so the inbound pass will come from Asbury's Madison Mitchell. Taken back by Kiernan. And a foul from behind on Asbury. That is going to be Madison Mitchell that commits the harm. After that, of course, LMU's got to go to North Georgia on the 11th, Coker on the 14th. They'll play their second home match of the season against Newberry on the 21st. Mars Hill on the 25th, then they go to Lenore-Rhine, always a tough place to play. And that's just the month of September. 1-0 Lincoln Memorial. Michelle Allen getting credit for that goal. Here's Allen with a steal at midfield, and she's also called with the contact. I think actually there was a foul called just prior to that. Asbury has had very limited opportunities across midfield today, to say the least. Good defensive pressure here by LMU early on. Asbury trying to get its shape here. Pass across midfield, nothing but white shirts there. Allen touches it off the shoulder at midfield, but taken back by Asbury. Now stolen by Doyle. Doyle on a run across into this upper half of the field. Trotting her way to the boxes, Hunter from the left side. Plays it back now. McKinney from the left with a high arcing shot that looked like it had the curve to find the net, but just a little bit strong, and that one flies over the crossbar. Down to the 16-minute mark. We are essentially nearly 2/3 of the way through the first half. Playing up to the midline, and there's pressure from the LMU backfield. Stolen away by McKinney. Nagy, one-on-one in the midfield. Trying to shake the defender, plays it over to Michelle Allen. Allen out of Utah. Cross pass going for the inline, and unfortunately for Lincoln Memorial, Rachel Vanneau was not able to get there. So again, the goal kick by Asbury. Folks, if you'd like to keep up to date on all that's going on with Lincoln Memorial University Athletics, pull up the LMU Athletics website, www.lmurailsplitters.com. All the latest scores, facts, statistics, player profiles, roster schedules, news releases, videos, Rail Splitter Athletics report, much, much more. It's all there. You just have to go there to check it all out and know that what you can find. Entering into the lineup now for LMU, Madison Rivard. She was the last substitution. Here's Cook, looking very mobile in the midfield. And another well-played defensive effort by Asbury as that ball was stolen away by Catherine Hale. To the far sideline. This is Bertrand, and she lost it out of bounds, so now LMU gets it back. I believe that was probably Cook that just threw it into play. Doyle, recipient of the pass near side of the field. Here's Allen coming to the near sideline, getting defensive pressure from behind and in front, and that ball touched out of play by Asbury. You see, when you get a view of the Lady Rail Splitter offensive sets from a long distance, you can see the shape of what they're trying to do. And they start back there in that defensive backfield. They work it around. They find a seam. They chip it up a little bit. Then they play it over. They find another seam, and they continue doing that. Here's a steal by Asbury. They had the numbers for the moment, but then LMU did a nice job of getting back, and now it looks like Doyle's going to play it out to prevent some harm back there. That'll give Asbury a throw-in from the near sideline. Thrown towards the box, chipped toward the corner, and that's going to be touched by Asbury. That'll be an LMU goal kick. Technical director today for the broadcast is Adam Haley. We've got some new folks on the cameras today. We'll have that information for you a little bit later on. Your producer is Tony Spinoza, and I'm told that I am now the executive producer. I don't know how that's possible, but thanks. I just got a congratulations from the director. Midfield pass headed over to Rivard, but played toward the box, and the keeper will come out on it. Touch pass to the far sideline. Here's Hasek. Plays it toward the midfield. Now the long ball up the field. LMU trying to get there to take it away, and again it's played out by the Lady Rail Splitters, as that was probably a wise decision by Krista Holka. 1-0 Lincoln Memorial as we're down to 12.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Touch pass into the backfield. Sloan Salisbury trying to get her shape. Forced to play it back now to Catherine Hale. Hale has it intercepted by Doyle. Now up to Allen. LMU trying to make a run. There goes Doyle. Good run. Now she's getting support from the near side. Her pass just a little bit strong, and Vano again cannot catch up with it. Great run by Doyle that time to free herself up from the defensive backfield to basically turn herself into a defender, or offensive player rather. So the throw-in will come from Asbury on the near sideline. And LMU will contest as usual. Doyle steals it away, and it looks like might have been called for a handball. That'll give it back to Asbury. And it appears that it will be Mitchell to put it into play. Hard tackle at midfield. Asbury wanting a foul, none called. And that ball heading towards the near corner. Nice shield by Teresa Doyle, and that'll be LMU ball with the time down to 11 minutes now. Another substitution ready to check in, but that is for Asbury, and they won't allow that unless there's an LMU player to check in. It looked like a handball at midfield, and that'll be called against Asbury's Rebecca Blackburn. So Marissa Kiernan will send it up. Goes into the box, and the keeper again comes out and gobbles it up before LMU's Michelle Hunter can get there. Here's Hasek for Asbury. Has it taken away by LMU's Sam Adams. Adams was not an all-conference player for no reason. She has definitely been noticed by the coaches throughout the league. There's the Asbury keeper again. That's Lizzie Hoffa. Plays it over to the far side, taken down by Tori Howard. And a hard tackle by LMU. No whistle there by the linesman or the referee at midfield. That ball played out, and it will go out on the end zone. And there will be a substitution for Asbury. Going out of the lineup, it is Meredith Urey. And entering now for the Eagles is Sarah Percy. Also checking into the lineup for Lincoln Memorial is Savannah Pitt. And it looks like she may have replaced Michelle Hunter. Pass up near midfield. Doyle again intercepts, plays the touch pass up to Lincoln Memorial's Rachel Vano, and that ball out of play back to LMU. Touched last by Asbury. Inbound will come in from Doyle on the throw. Pass to Allen just behind the official. Allen from the left corner, touch pass to Vano. Vano looking for a cross down, and apparently maybe an offside call against Lincoln Memorial. The linesman on the far side of the field made the call, so apparently he had an angle that we didn't hear. The ball basically will be put back into play by Catherine Hale. Pressure again from Pitt in the backfield. Here's Hale. Vano helps out. Stolen again by Doyle. Doyle just all over the place defensively. Up to Vano. Vano trying to penetrate. Touch pass to Allen. Allen right through the keeper's legs, and caroms one off the keeper. That'll go out of play for a corner kick. And what pressure by Lincoln Memorial on the offensive end in that attack. Michelle Allen has been very mobile since coming into the lineup, and you got to take your hat off to Doyle, who really got that whole thing started in the defensive backfield. I mean, she has been so mobile back there in trying to make things happen that's exactly what happened in that particular case. She made that play. Cross into the box. Off the foot of one LMU player, and it'll go wide left. It's hard to really tell who got the touch there, but it appears that might have been Maddie Nagy. 7:28 remaining in the first half of play. Touch up the near side. Nagy battling there with the Asbury player. There's Vano taking it away. Cross into the box. Keeper comes out on it and steals it away from Madison Rivard, who was right there ready to put it into the nylon. From the far side of the field, this is Hasek. Plays it into the backfield. And that ball apparently went out of play. That'll be Lincoln Memorial possession. Throw in from the far side. Hard to see the number. That may be Cook. I don't know if she's in the lineup at this time, but I believe it is. Here's Vano from the far side of the field. Tried to play it across. Allen lost the touch. Taken back at midfield. Here's Nagy. Maddie Nagy trying to steal it away. Gets it. Takes a shot right down the middle. And it'll go wide left. LMU again applying unbelievable pressure on the offensive end. Still 1-0, and really Asbury's very fortunate right now to only have a 1-0 deficit. The ball has definitely been on this end of the field, on the LMU end of the field, most of the first half. Here's Vano. Unlucky touch right there as it's played out by the Eagles, and that'll be a throw-in for the Lady Rail Splitters on the near sideline. Teresa Doyle will step out to get things going for Lincoln Memorial. Throw into Vano. Across the top of the box, and it will be intercepted far side by Sarah Percy. Lincoln Memorial doing a nice job here in the first half. Pressure from Savannah Pitt at the box. Long pass up the field, pulled down by the Eagles. Chip shot to the middle of the field. That'll be Hasek. And taken away by Lincoln Memorial. Pass to Vano on the near side. Off the head of an Asbury player. Allen pulls it down. Plays it back now to LMU's Sam Adams. And now Adams finds a pass to the far side of the field. That's off an Asbury player, and again, well, I beg your pardon. The linesman calls a foul over there, I believe, on LMU, and that will be Asbury ball. Clock now at 4:43 to play here in the first half. Long pass across midfield. Playing the ball deep down the far sideline, foot race to it. Cook's going to get there. And she will play it off of a Asbury player, but then it didn't go out of play, and somehow Cook got it back. Pass up to Nagy. Nagy to Allen. Allen finding a seam up the far sideline, and I believe that is Rivard taking it towards the box. Cross into the box, and a beautiful cross by Rivard. As that goal was scored, I believe, by Rachel Vano. Nice cross by Rivard. And LMU goes up 2-0 just before the end of the first half. 4:08 to play. And the Lady Rail Splitters capitalize yet again. Our crowd mic today is right in the basically in the mouth of several LMU men's soccer players. So when the score happens, you hear that, and I couldn't get to the volume quickly enough. 2-0 Lincoln Memorial. Here's Asbury trying to salvage something before the end of the half. Allen plays it over, stolen away by Asbury. That's Bertrand. Now Vano recovers for LMU. Allen touches it back, stolen back. And now Kiernan near the midfield line. Tori Howard back there to Salisbury. Kristen Cook stealing it away. She'll make a run. The only one supporting her is Pitt. Cook off the right side, has no options really, forced to back it out a little bit. And a shot right at the frame by LMU's Maddie Nagy. And the keeper with the save. Bertrand on the near sideline. Vano contesting. Takes it away, and unfortunately the referee in the center is going to say she got a little too physical. Pass up and across the midfield. Knocked out by LMU's Sam Adams. A couple of great goals for LMU here in the first half. Inbound comes in from the near sideline. Madison Mitchell for Asbury puts it into play. Now here's Bertrand. Back to Mitchell. Long pass up here stolen away by LMU's Kiernan. And she knocks it out off the near sideline. 2:23 to play in the first half. Nagy. Touch pass over to LMU's Rivard. Forced to play it back. Teresa Doyle showing the mobility. Actually, that's not Doyle. I'm not sure who that is. Long pass up to Pitt. She's stretching out the legs trying to get there, but it is taken away by Asbury in the box. Pitt still contesting, battling hard, and Asbury lucky to come away with that one. 1:55 to play in the half. Pass into the LMU backfield. Krista Holka. That's who that was that I thought was Teresa Doyle a minute ago. So many new faces, even though there are a lot of returners. We have not called soccer at all on the LMU Sports Network, but getting to know these individuals is going to be a chore in and of itself. Touch pass back to Adams, who clears it out of the backfield. That long pass up, now it's Pitt with a foot race. Keeper's forced back into the box, but Asbury's Catherine Hale was faster than Pitt right there to get to it. Approaching the 1 minute mark. Asbury trying to get out of the first half without giving up any further damage.
1 minute remaining in the half. 1 minute.
2-0 Lincoln Memorial. LMU with possession again. Here's Nagy at the top of the 18. And that ball cleared out of play by Asbury. LMU has time for another goal here if they can get things going. Throw in to Pitt. Touch pass right into the middle and nobody there. That is taken by Asbury without incident. Long pass up into the LMU backfield. Pulled down by Adams. Plays it up to Vano, now over to Doyle. Doyle, long cross into the box. Top of the box, keeper almost misplayed it, forced to go back near the penalty box. Long punt up near midfield, great punt. And that was
10,
against the wind,
9,
inside 10
8,
seconds.
7,
And so after
6,
the first 45
5,
minutes of play,
4,
the
3,
Lady Rail Splitters will
2,
take a 2-0
1.
lead into the half. And it is looking good for Heliodana and his women's soccer team here today as they lead the Eagles after the first 45 minutes. We're going to take a brief timeout. When we come back, we'll run down your halftime statistics. You are listening to the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network. At the half, the Lady Rail Splitters lead the Asbury Eagles 2-0, and just beautiful goals by LMU's Allen and I believe also by Lincoln Memorial's, I'm looking for the goals here, Rachel Vanneau. Michelle Allen and Rachel Vanneau. Nicole McKinney assisted Allen's goal, and Madison Rivard assisted Vanneau's first goal of the season. Let's take a look at the statistics now. Now, when you look at these, it's very difficult to read sometimes if you're not familiar with soccer, but Hoffa now with 2 goals against. She's got 6 saves in the first half. For Lincoln Memorial, they have not really had any shots on goal, or at least Asbury's not had any shots on goal down there to test the LMU keeper. So Kayla Stevens has no goals against and no saves. When you look at the individual shots, LMU is out shooting Asbury 21-2. Of those shots, 8 of them on frame. You've got 6 saves, 2 goals, and goals and shots. Goals and saves equals shots on goal. I tend to disagree with that a little bit because in a lot of cases you have balls that hit the side post or the crossbar, and I think those really ought to be called shots on goal, but the NCAA and the statistics services don't view it as such. The ball could just as easily go in, so in that case they don't. Individually speaking, for Asbury, Meredith Urey has 1 shot and Tori Howard with 1. Again, a total of 2. For LMU, Lauren Dusold has 2 shots in the game. Kristen Cook with 1. Brittany Jenkins has 1. Christina Joseph with 1. Michelle Hunter, very active. She has 4 shots here in the first half. Nicole McKinney, 2 shots, 1 goal. Olivia Thompson, 1 shot. Sam Adams, 1. Michelle Allen, 2 shots, 1 goal. Rachel Vanneau, 1 for 1. And then, of course, an assist for Madison Rivard, an assist for Nicole McKinney. And then Maddie Nagy with 5 shots. All of those coming from a pretty good piece back on the field, outside the box and more about 25 or 30 yards out. So it's been an interesting first half. LMU's goals came at the 24-22 mark of the first half and at the 40-53 mark. And as we said earlier, you know, when you just relentlessly pick at that defense, 21 shots in the first half. Sooner or later, a couple of them are going to find the back of the net, and that's what happened. LMU leads at the break 2-0. We'll be back with the second half after this. You're on the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network. Welcome back to the campus of Lincoln Memorial University, where the Lady Rail Splitters lead the Eagles of Asbury by the score of 2-0 at the half. And LMU out shooting Asbury in the first 45 minutes of play by a 21-2 margin. Goals again by LMU's Michelle Allen with an assist from Nicole McKinney and Rachel Vanneau, who was assisted by Madison Rivard. And both of them very spectacular goals to open the 2013 season. I'm sure that Coach L is quite pleased with his team's performance in the first half. Asbury, of course, stayed on the defensive most of the first half, and that's evident by the shots on goal, or the shots that you saw in the first half, and the shots on goal for that matter. LMU, of course, with 8 shots on goal in the first half, and Asbury had none. And LMU keeper Kayla Stevens has not had anything to test her yet. I'm sure that while Coach Dana does not want some serious threats of shots on goal here by Asbury, he would like to get his keeper some experience in dealing with those type situations before heading to Huntsville, Alabama on Sunday. LMU, of course, will work, as we see it here from the press box, from left to right here to open the second half of play. And Asbury, wearing the purple uniforms, will go from right to left. And if the first half was any indication of what we can expect here in the final 45 minutes of play, most likely we're going to see most of the action on the right side of your viewing monitor. Lady Rail Splitters trying to find their first win of the season. This is the season opener for Lincoln Memorial. And for Asbury, it's their first match of the season. We are officially underway. LMU with possession, and Teresa Doyle will start the second half for Lincoln Memorial. Doyle doing an absolutely great job in the backfield defensively in the first half, and actually got herself a couple of offensive opportunities. LMU tactfully working that ball around in the backfield. Here's Holka. Plays it over to Doyle on the near sideline. Back to Holka at the box. Long pass up to Joseph. Joseph pulls it in, comes to the near sideline, and the ball knocked out of play by Asbury. So there'll be a throw-in for Lincoln Memorial, and Teresa Doyle will do the honors here on the near sideline. Comes into Joseph. Joseph knocked to the ground, and a foul on Asbury. A lot of sunshine here today, warm temperatures to say the least. Long ball up the field now, pulled down by Thompson of Lincoln Memorial. Thompson hooked a little bit, shakes the defender, throws it into the box with a chip shot. And now the ball played back as Doyle comes up on it and salvages for LMU. Up to Joseph. Doyle making a run now. Joseph plays it far side of the field. Touch pass in the box, and a shot that time by Lincoln Memorial's Nicole McKinney right into the hands of the keeper. And if LMU has a fault, this was the case last year, when they shoot, it seems to be right at the keeper. They don't have any deception when they fire the shots. Joseph plays it off the Asbury defender, and apparently it was last touched by Joseph. That'll be Asbury ball. Linesman on the near side of the field making the call. So the throw-in will come from Rebecca Blackburn. Contested there by Lincoln Memorial, and another foul, actually an offside call against Asbury. Just underway here in the second half. LMU leading 2-0 after the first half, and not necessarily a commanding lead, but definitely in control at this point because they have kept the ball on the Asbury end of the field for the majority of this contest. Long pass up the field. Taken down by the Eagles, stolen away by the Lady Rail Splitters. This is Thompson. She's tackled hard. Cross pass by Samantha Chanda. That pass across by Lincoln Memorial, and that'll be out of play. So Asbury with some opportunities here early. And you have to believe that head coach Brooke Lincoln probably took the opportunity to talk with her team about some things they did not do well in the first half. And hopefully they, if you're an Eagles fan, you see them make an adjustment here today. Pass up to midfield. Played back by Chanda. Doyle heads it towards Joseph. And it's knocked out by Asbury. Touching it last, I believe that time, Rebecca Blackburn. So Doyle again with a throw-in. Headed back and cleared toward the Asbury end of the field by Krista Holka. Both teams still feeling each other out here in the second half. There's a long throw in across midfield. Nice challenge from behind by LMU's Krista Holka. That's exactly what you want to see if you're Coach L. You want to see every ball challenged like that. Here's the kick by Salisbury toward the LMU box. Joseph heads it up to LMU's Olivia Thompson. Thompson trying to shake the defender. Unfortunately lost it out of play. And again, Asbury retains possession. Head ball out of play by Asbury, and looked like that might have been Cassie Holland, who checked in a few moments ago for the second half out of Lanesville, Indiana, sophomore, 5'7" midfielder. Headed toward the LMU box. Here's a run by Hasek, and she was sandwiched between two LMU defenders. There still was a ball that went toward the net, and that's the first time that the LMU keeper has actually touched the ball this afternoon. LMU trying to get it out of the backfield. Now a big run. Great ball up the middle of the field. 1v1 with the keeper. Touched across the keeper's head, and an open net for Olivia Thompson, who punches it into the near corner. Great touch by Thompson, who took the long pass, touched it over the keeper's head, who'd come out on the ball, and she really kind of made that on her own after the fact, because the challenge by the keeper was legit. She was there nearly in time. She didn't win the foot race, but Thompson scores the third goal of the day for LMU, and the Lady Rail Splitters now have that commanding 3-0 lead as we are just minutes into the second half of play. Doyle heads one out of play inadvertently. And that'll give Asbury the ball about 2/3 field. Throw in, taken and stolen by Doyle. Pass up the near sideline, played out. 39-13 to play, and it's 3-0 Lincoln Memorial. That's going to be considered a shot, I would think, and that was Cassie Holland who hit wide right. The shot was not on frame, but the keeper came out and snagged it. Header by Hahn. Battle for the loose ball far sideline. Apparently last touch by LMU's Nicole McKinney. And so the throw in to Asbury. Here's LMU's Hunter at midfield, sends the ball on up. And the foot race will be won by Asbury. And touched last out of bounds by Madison Mitchell. Throws it in backside. Scrap for the ball, cross toward the goal, and the keeper takes it right at the post. I think it was a cross, not a shot, and so the keeper will trot it out to the end of the 18, where she will punt it away to the near sideline, pulled down by Asbury's Riley Smith. Now Holland sends it toward the LMU box. Keeper comes out, clears it out of the backfield across midfield. Nice decision by LMU keeper Kayla Stevens. Joseph toward the box, intercepted by Asbury. Sent across midfield. The header that time by LMU's Krista Holka. Touch pass by Brittany Jenkins. And again, LMU intercepts. I believe that is Sam Adams. Nice defensive effort that time from Lincoln Memorial, and on the play, that was Olivia Thompson. LMU has been very mobile today. Coach Dana's teams typically are very in shape come season time. Their sheer size this year is what he's most impressed with. They're very big on the field, and they can contest a lot of things defensively. They don't get pushed off the ball as easy. Krista Holka will leave it, and that'll leave Teresa Doyle with a throw-in. Doyle looking a little indecisive, finds Joseph, who's contested from behind. Touch pass over to Josephine Hedstrom, and now away to Brittany Jenkins. Asbury on a run now. Hasek up the far side. It is Hahn. And LMU knocks Hahn to the ground, and that'll be a foul in the favor of Asbury. Under the 36-minute mark. We're 9 minutes into the second half. LMU with 11 total shots on goal as we have it now. And one against, one for Asbury. 3-0 Lincoln Memorial. Cross into the box, header toward the left side, and it'll go out of play, I believe, off of Asbury. And that'll be LMU ball on the goal kick. Rusty Peace here with you today. Glad to have you with us for the inaugural broadcast of Lincoln Memorial University women's soccer. It's taken us a long time in the television era to be able to bring you this luxury, but we're able to do it this year. Tony Spinoza, the new operations manager at Lincoln Memorial, making the call to try to field this at the last minute this year. So it is a work in progress, and we will make some changes hopefully throughout the season to better our broadcast. But we appreciate your viewership, and we're glad to be able to bring you this season of Lady Rail Splitter Soccer. Here's Hedstrom at midfield. Pass up the far side. Good run by Lincoln Memorial. I believe that is Nicole McKinney. A cross or a shot to the box, and it was knocked out of bounds by the Asbury keeper, Lizzie Hoffa. So LMU will have another goal kick. They've had several today. They've not been able to capitalize on any of them. But it appears McKinney, I believe that's McKinney over there, will trot over to the deep corner to take the kick. Corner kick on its way and goes right through, I believe, untouched. That'll prompt Riley Smith to come to the near corner and pick it up for Asbury. Long pass up. Touch pass by Holland. Played it back and now stolen by Doyle of Lincoln Memorial. Over to Holka. Holka back into the Asbury end of the field. Joseph being hounded from behind. Keeps her composure. LMU with numbers here, and an unlucky play. Joseph had a great pass, but it was not read properly by Michelle Hunter, who zigged when she should have zagged, and that'll give the ball back to Asbury as Hoffa will punt it out of the box. Here's Hunter. Hunter on a run from the left side, and unfortunately knocked out of play. Some of the LMU men's soccer team thought possibly she was fouled in the box right there, which would have resulted in a penalty kick, but not the case as the official saw it. And now we've got a substitution for the Eagles as they will shuttle players in and out. Brooke Lincoln, the head coach of Asbury, trying to find the right combination to get some points on the board today. And so far, LMU has silenced the Asbury shooters as they have denied them all but a couple of shots on goal. Long pass to Hedstrom. Correction, that was Hunter. Both teams just trading the ball back and forth right now, trying to gain possession. And the ball knocked out far side of the field by Meredith Urey. That'll be LMU ball. Throw in taken by Asbury. Defensively, LMU is just swarming Asbury. They're just not giving them anything easy. Here's Hunter off the long pass. Makes a move into the box. The cross is there, but the keeper gobbles it up. And a nice run by the Lady Rail Splitters to pressure Asbury on that offensive set. Backfield, Holka intercepts. Up to Joseph. Joseph plays it around the defender up the near sideline. On the run, it's Olivia Thompson. And Asbury tried to play it out. Thompson stole it back. Now she's battling. Plays it back to Joseph. Joseph double teamed. Knocked off the ball right on the corner of the box. No call by the official apparently, or if there was, they really didn't take much time in getting it started again. And so LMU will get possession far side of the field after the ball was knocked out of play. McKinney battling over on the far sideline. Played back toward the middle of the field. This is Holka. And now Brittany Jenkins goes over to Hedstrom. Lauren Dusold. Back to Hedstrom. Across the grain now. And McKinney, actually that wasn't McKinney, that was Thompson, had it stolen away. Asbury trying to make something happen and getting it out of the backfield. Good ball movement by the Eagles, but then turned over. Here's Thompson. Nice moves again, over to Hedstrom. Hedstrom through the wickets, then pulled to the ground. Plays it over far sideline, and LMU with a run up the far sideline. Up to Hunter. Hunter trying to put one in the box. There's the cross. McKinney tried to make the shot, but she was shielded by the defender. Nice defensive stand by Asbury that time to deny LMU another goal. The Eagles played into the LMU backfield. Hedstrom from midfield. Looking far sideline, now up the field to Hunter. Hunter had a good first step. Again from the left side of the box, crosses over in. Straight out on top, Joseph looked like she was going to crank up and let one go and did not, and then turned it over. Again, LMU just being relentless on that attack, but not able to finish as much as Coach Dana would like to see. Dussault from the far corner. Touch pass over to teammate Brittany Jenkins. Across midfield now to McKinney. McKinney reels it in. Touch pass deflected. And taken by Hunter. Give and go to McKinney. And an offside call by the near side official. Good idea, just left a little bit early. It's if you don't understand the offside call, it's kind of like what is it, icing in hockey, I think, where you got a moving blue line here instead of the preset blue line in hockey. And I guess the purpose of that is to keep people from cherry picking, snowbirding. You can choose your cliche there. Michelle Hunter battling at midfield. Now McKinney takes over. Pass up the field. This is going to be Thompson, who has one from the top of the box, uncorks one, and it is snatched up by the keeper just outside the line from the frame. And so another save for Asbury's Lizzie Hoffa, who had quite a few at the end of the first half, but that was due to the large volume of shots that LMU had been taking. Doyle plays it out on the near sideline. So a throw in for Asbury in LMU territory, but again, you can probably count on one hand how many times that Asbury has had the ball inside the LMU 18 today. It has not been many. Substitutions again for the Eagles. 27-28 remaining here in the final half of play, unless Asbury can tie things up or take the lead. Teresa Doyle will have the throw in. And double team against LMU's Brittany Jenkins, who turned it over as a result of that. You got to be pleased right now if you're Coach Dana in regard to how LMU has played thus far, though. They have executed. They have been relentless on offense. Defensively, they have been as solid as I've seen them. And that, as we've mentioned a couple of times, has been their strong point over the last year or two. Long pass up to McKinney. Nice head touch. She's got an angle, no support. The ball played off of an Asbury defender, and that'll be another corner kick for the Lady Rail Splitters. Now here is where Helio Dana would like to see his teams capitalize on opportunity. When you get that corner kick, it gives you an opportunity to get your pieces set. And obviously, the closer the ball gets to the box, the better chance you've got of it, at least the penalty box, the better chance of that you've got of getting it into the frame. So let's see what they do. Here's the cross into the box. Header goes off the left side, and that'll be wide left. A good try, but again, it results in no goal, and now we'll have an LMU substitution, as that will be Rachel Vanneau that checks in for Lincoln Memorial. She will replace Olivia Thompson. And we want to remind everybody, immediately following today's match, we'll have some post-game commentary with Helio Dana. I'll talk with him personally about today's match and get his thoughts on how his team performed. Both teams contesting the ball at midfield, now played into the LMU backfield. Keeper's going to come out on it again. Very dangerous. She was way out of the box, and there was no stopper back there if the ball got by her. Keeper showing a lot of confidence. I don't know if you're Coach Dana, you're up 3-0, you probably don't worry about that a whole lot, but if it was a 1-0 game, you definitely don't want to see her come out like that. 24:55 remaining in this opening match of the season. LMU trying to improve to 1-0 with a victory over Asbury today. Asbury, of course, an NAI opponent, located up in the Kentucky area, up around Lexington. But LMU, of course, NCAA Division II, and this will not be, I don't believe it will not be a regional matchup, but Sunday's match with Alabama Huntsville will. Asbury doing a nice job of keeping it on the LMU end. Cross into the box. Doyle shields the ball away, and wisely so, as she allows that ball to ride out of bounds untouched. And that was probably the best decision because she really wasn't in a position where she could bring it down. The keeper wasn't there either. I think if the keeper had pushed the issue a little bit, she probably could have got to the ball, but a wise decision to shield the defender from getting to it and then just let it ride out of bounds. So the goal kick will come from the top of the penalty box. On its way. Every ball challenged, as we said earlier. There's Hedstrom. Plays it over to Vinot. Vinot goes back towards the center of the field. Joseph takes over. And Joseph thrown to the ground, so a foul on Asbury. "12 shots on goal for the Lady Rail Splitters, only one for Asbury, and it did not go. So one keeper save for Lincoln Memorial. Here's Hunter at the top of the 18, over to Vinot. Vinot tried to touch it, missed it, plays it back to Hunter. Hunter off the right side, cranks it to the left side post, and it just goes wide left. Unlucky strike for Hunter, who really had an open look at the goal. I think the keeper was probably in position to get a hand on it if it had made the post area, but unfortunately for Lincoln Memorial, it didn't. Still want to test that keeper if at all possible. Goal kick now for Asbury, and a short one. Ball played over toward the dugouts area and across midfield. That'll be LMU ball. Throw in for Lincoln Memorial. Pass up to Joseph, and she's going to be called for a handball. That'll turn it over to Asbury. Made contact with the right hand. And that is a no-no. McKinney contesting far sideline. And still knocked out by Lincoln Memorial, so another throw-in for the Eagles. LMU intercepts, taken down by Adams. Pass up the far sideline. Played back toward midfield. Asbury regaining possession. Long pass turned over. Now a foot race to it. Here's Kristen Cook. Nice job, but then played out by Asbury's Andrea Hasek. And so the throw-in will come from Cook on the near sideline for Lincoln Memorial. Hedstrom tried to get there, couldn't pull it down. Here's Vinot, plays it up to Hunter. Hunter back to the net, forced into the backfield and fouled from behind. So good job by Hunter there to hold her ground, although she was stood up. And so for Lincoln Memorial, Sam Adams will put it back into play from the spot of the harm. Approaching the 20-minute mark remaining in this match. Played toward the box. Hunter can't get there. Asbury clears it. Coming out of the pack with it, Cassie Holland. And now stolen back by Lincoln Memorial's Lauren Dussold. And it'll be a goal kick for the Eagles. LMU's next home match, folks, will be some time from now. Well, I had that in front of me a minute ago. I don't know what I did with it. We'll find it shortly, I promise you. That'll be September 21st when they take on the Newberry Wolves. Of course, Newberry, formerly the Indians out of Newberry, South Carolina. That'll be a South Atlantic Conference matchup. It won't be the SAC opener for Lincoln Memorial. They'll actually open SAC play on the road at Coker. That's down in Hartsville, South Carolina. LMU keeper out of the box, deflected out of play by Asbury, and that'll be LMU ball. Substitution again for Lincoln Memorial. Going out of the lineup, Josephine Hedstrom, and re-entering Maddie Nagy. We hope to have a more substantial pregame show in the near future, and want to bring this thing to you with as many bells and buzzers as we possibly can. But again, this is the inaugural broadcast, and so in large terms, we're still getting our feet wet here in terms of broadcasting Lincoln Memorial University soccer. We're yet to do a men's soccer match, but that's coming up next. Not today, of course. That'll be our next endeavor here in terms of soccer. It'll be a doubleheader. So we're going to have a keeper change now for Lincoln Memorial, as that will be Catherine Lundy who takes over in the net after Kayla Stevens spent quite a while in there, in fact. Lundy, a 5'10 freshman out of Pinckney, Michigan, played at Pinckney High School. Inbound pass from Cook. And apparently touched out of bounds by LMU. That'll leave Rebecca Blackburn of Asbury to throw it in. Nice defensive effort. Now Hunter's going to take over after the deflection. LMU not getting any support on an offensive standpoint and forced to play it back was Hunter. Hunter, touch pass. That was a handball that got away from the official. No call. No, he actually did catch it. You know, an odd thing today, we've not had a card yet. As physical as this match has been, we have not had a card. See if that'll jinx either team. Works in basketball and softball and baseball. We have the broadcasters jinx, so see if it works with soccer. Here's McKinney. Direct kick into the box. Keeper comes out and makes the grab. I believe it would have been wide right, so technically a cross, not necessarily a shot. Asbury now with a run into the LMU half of the field. Lady Railsplitters doing a nice job of getting back defensively, but a little bit out of position. And here's an opportunity for Asbury, the shot at the keeper. And so that's going to be Catherine Lundy that gets credit for her first save of her career here at Lincoln Memorial. Collision there on the near side. And the ball played back toward the inline. LMU looking a little tired right now. They're typically in good shape, but they've done a lot of running today to press both defensively and make a lot happen offensively. The firepower is coming when you look at the number of shots that they've had, and that was one thing that Coach Dana has been worried about this year. He felt like he had more firepower from an offensive standpoint because he had more players that could be offensive threats than he did a year ago. But this young team has got to find a way to put a greater percentage of those shots on frame as opposed to what we've seen today. I mean, we had 21 shots in the first half. Only 2 of them were on frame. And I think we've had a bunch of shots here in the second half, but only, well, there have been 12 shots on goal, so I guess 4 shots on goal here in the second half. Asbury's done a much better job from a defensive standpoint and actually from an offensive standpoint of taking it down on the LMU end. And I believe that has probably started from their defensive effort. Here's Lundy out of the box with the goal kick. Ball knocked back in dangerous area for Lincoln Memorial, and now it's Asbury that's pressing LMU from an offensive standpoint. Couple of substitutions ready to check in for the Lady Railsplitters. Hunter showing strength out near midfield, and now it's McKinney on the run. McKinney plays one up to Vano. Vano with a great move around the defender, and then lost her balance from the right side, actually knocked to the ground, and there'll be a foul call by the official. So McKinney will step in there and try to get something going here for Lincoln Memorial as they get the pieces in place Everybody had it inside the 18 here to try to make something happen. Beautiful bending shot, but unfortunately, again, right at the keeper. And nobody there to pressure the keeper in that effort. Asbury with a run here. Touch pass up the field by Mitchell. And I believe that was Kristen Cook that knocked it out of play as she was in a foot race with Riley Smith of Asbury. So again, the Eagles take it to the LMU half of the field. And now for Lincoln Memorial, Samantha Hilliard clears it out of the backfield, out of play again, and it'll be another throw in for the Eagles. Rebecca Blackburn plays it back toward midfield, and this will be Victoria Thompson who will allow the Eagles to get her shape, playing it back to teammate Catherine Hale. Hahn going north to south with it, and a whistle by the referee from the center of the field, and it appears that it'll be a Lincoln Memorial foul. 13:42 to play in this contest. LMU on top 3-0. You're watching this through the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network, and we're glad to have you with us here today for this inaugural broadcast of soccer. Great effort to put one on frame, and there's what I'm talking about. I don't think the keeper got a piece of that when it actually hit the crossbar. Technically, in my book, that's a shot on frame, but again, the statistics program don't show it as such. So substitutions for both squads now. And that clock continues to work in favor of Lincoln Memorial. When you're up 3-0, you don't mind that clock running because you know that it's working in your favor. And of course, if you're the opposing coach and you're down 3-0, equally so, you want that thing to stop at every opportunity. Unfortunately, for Asbury, the NCAA does not allow that clock to stop at that point. Now, you think you get inside 5 minutes or 2 minutes, something like that, it may on substitutions. Ball touched out by Lincoln Memorial. Again, Asbury will have possession. Throw in from the far sideline. It appears to be Holland that played it back towards the midfield, and now the ball knocked out of play again by Lincoln Memorial. I mean, if they don't score another goal today, you really got to recognize the defensive effort by the Lady Rail Splitters. They have just given Asbury very few opportunities from an offensive goal-scoring standpoint. And when the Eagles have had opportunities, the LMU goalkeepers have pulled up strong. Great pass by Hunter up to Vano. Vano on a 1v1 against the defender. Outstretched arms of the keeper knocks it out of play, and that'll be a goal kick for Lincoln Memorial. I beg your pardon, a corner kick. Just a great touch pass by Hunter, and Vano knew right what to do with it. She actually had a great shot. That's more along the lines of the shots you want to see. You want to see it away from the keeper, make them stretch out for it, make them lay out for it, make them sacrifice their body. And that's exactly what the keeper for Asbury did right there, as Lizzie Hoffa laid out for it and kept it out of the net. Now they'll try to do the same with the corner kick. Into the box, and there it is as Hoffa comes out and snatches it up to prevent any further damage. Approaching the 10-minute mark. We're inside 11 minutes, folks. Brittany Jenkins at midfield. Plays it up to LMU's Madison Rivard, and it was stolen away by Asbury. Hilliard trying to get back on it. Takes it to the corner, plays it out, and that'll prevent the goal kick or the corner kick, and it'll be a throw-in for the Eagles from the far corner. Again, good decision by Samantha Hilliard. Throw-in's harder to get into scoring territory than that corner kick. Again, Asbury ball.
10 minutes left in regulation.
Now, under normal circumstances at most of our broadcasts, if LMU teams win, we select the player of the match. Not sure if we're going to do that today or not, but we could possibly. I think from a defensive standpoint, at least right now, I think LMU really started playing its best soccer today when Teresa Doyle came into the lineup. And in my opinion, Michelle Allen got them going offensively in the first half, and she was very mobile. We've not seen her much here in the second half, and that's a little surprising. Substitution ready to check in for Asbury, but it'll have to be their ball before she can do so. A throw in for Lincoln Memorial, as that might have been Kristen Cook. Hard to tell from here. Actually, no, Cook's on this side of the field. She has the angle, cross towards the box, and that one going over the crossbar onto the back of the net. So good effort again by the Lady Rail Splitters, but did not pay off in the end.
Two's coming out for sure. It's two.
It's a solid performance today by this LMU soccer team. Asbury trying to pull it down. Touch pass to Hilliard. Now way up the field. Vano making a run for it. Can't get there in time. Taken down by Victoria Thompson of Asbury. And a foul called on the Eagles, as that was Andrea Hasek that pulled the LMU player to the ground. Carly Sepelak was the LMU player that was thrown to the turf. So Marissa Kiernan will try to put it into the box for Lincoln Memorial. Great effort and a better defensive effort by Asbury. Here's the run by Chanda. Long pass up the field. Hilliard trying to get there. Plays it back up the line, and that'll be Asbury ball. Clock down to 7:25. Eagles play it toward midfield, toward the box. Headed back toward the keeper, and dangerous territory as it's down the line. Punched out by the keeper, and Kiernan will play it even further down the line. Asbury on the wrong end of the field right now. They've got to keep it in LMU territory if they're to get back into this contest before time expires. Played up to the Eagles' Shanda Painter. Great cross, but unfortunately a bad touch by the Eagles, and that's going to be stolen back by Vano. Vano at midfield, being contested. The ball deflected. Played back to the Asbury keeper. And time is quickly working against this Asbury team, who would fall to 0-4 with a loss here today. There you see Catherine Lundy, the LMU keeper, in no hurry to really clear it out of the box because she's not being pressured. And again, she knows the time is working in LMU's favor. Here's Cook. Basically, right here, LMU's not on the attack. They're just knocking it around. They want to use as much of that clock as possible. Stolen back by Asbury, and that's Catherine Hale that came up with it. Plays it on the far sideline, back towards center field. That's Hasek. Cross to the near side of the green. And now turned over as Asbury's Sloan Salisbury will recover. I mean, mean, things would just have to come apart at the seams right now for Asbury to get back into this contest with only 5 minutes to play. Thompson gives it up in the backfield away to Hale. And a good defensive effort by Lincoln Memorial, as that was Lauren Dussold that played it way back into the Asbury backfield. In fact, that's going to be Lincoln Memorial throw in from the far side, as the Eagles couldn't get to it in time. Substitution for Asbury. I mean, you know, at this point, you really don't want to stretch that clock and keep it running any more than you have to, but you got to keep fresh legs in there. LMU's going to score again. There's a touch pass by Vano. Vano with a shot toward the right side and hits it wide right. Unlucky strike yet again. And so a goal kick for the Eagles as we're down to 4 minutes. Again, we want to remind you we will have post-game commentary immediately following today's game. Helio Dana will talk about the contest with Asbury. And if possible, we're going to try to select a player of the game. I think probably Michelle Allen and Teresa Doyle, in my opinion, have played as well as anybody today, offensively and defensively. That's Maddie Nagy that lost it out of play on the near side. Actually had it knocked away from her. And so Kristen Cook will have the throw-in. Great throw-in up the field. Pulled in by Vano, taken down by Rivard. And again, LMU will have possession near side of the field, as it will most likely be Rivard to throw it in. No, she's going to give it up to Cook. Nope. In fact, it will be Rivard. Over the head of Nagy. Cleared out of the backfield. Yuri on the run. And a foul on Lincoln Memorial's Marissa Kiernan. Two and a half minutes to play. Collision in the far corner. No call but a linesman. And that will be LMU ball, as the Asbury player looks like she was arguing a bit with the linesman about the possession and what happened there. Lady Rail Splitters again knocking it around in the backfield. I don't know what the scores have been for Asbury in their losses. That looked like a handball in the box by Asbury, and it was in fact. It'll be LMU possession. I don't know what the scores have been in Asbury's 3 outings prior to this, but you know, again, if you're head coach Brooke Lincoln, you would like to get the goose egg off your back here today and get a goal before the end of the match. But I don't think this Lady Rail Splitter team's gonna break today. They have been as strong as I've seen them in quite a while defensively. Now, to Asbury's demise, I think they've not really had a very strong offensive attack, but then good defensive efforts will make you look like that sometime. Great ball to Vano, and Vano had a trailer from the far side she didn't see, and she slipped up and took it away from her. And we are down to the 1 minute mark in this season opener for 2013. The Lady Rail Splitters will emerge victorious today and move to 1-0. They will look to Sunday's match with the University of Alabama Huntsville to make corrections of any things that they did not do particularly well today and capitalize on some things that they did well today but did not capitalize on here, such as their shooting. I can guarantee you the level of competition is going to go up quite a bit when you take on the Chargers down there of UAH. They play in a very tough league, NCAA Division II. Here's Nagy. Fires a shot toward the box, and that will be heading toward the left post, but taken down again by the keeper. 16 seconds left. And that should just about do it. It'll be Asbury ball, but the writing is on the wall.
6,
The Eagles fall to
5,
0-4. The Lady
4,
Rail Splitters improve to
3,
1-0.
2,
And it is over and in the books here at the LMU Soccer Complex. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we'll run down your final statistics, and we'll talk with head coach Helly O'Dana as well as our players of the match.
Your final score, Lincoln Memorial University 3,
Our players of the match
Asbury
being
University 0.
Teresa Doyle and also Michelle Allen. Back after this on the LMU Sports Network. Three 0 your final. The Lady Rail Splitters improved to 1-0, while Asbury falls to 0-4. For the entire game, LMU was on the attack for the most part. Defensively, they denied Asbury a whole lot of looks at shots on goal. And when you go into the half with a 21-2 margin, I mean that pretty well tells the story. If your coach Ellett made things easy, he wanted them to continue the defensive pressure, but also continue to fire at will as they got opportunities. Now they really didn't get the looks in the second half that they did in the first, but I think that probably the heat, the opening game of the season, the pace of the game, the pressure of the defensive effort they gave, and the pressure of offensive effort they gave was probably had something to do with that. Now, let's take a look at your final statistics. First of all, for Asbury, Meredith Urey had 2 shots. Victoria Thompson 1. Tori Howard had 1. Rachel Bertrand finished with 1. Cassie Holland had 3. A total of 8 shots for the Eagles today. LMU, of course, had 33 shots today. Of those on goal, quite a few. LMU had 3 shots in the net that got past the keeper, Lizzie Hoffa. 10 saves for Hoffa, so a total of 13 shots on goal today for Lincoln Memorial. Lauren Dussold had 2. Kristen Cook had 1. Brittany Jenkins 1. Christina Joseph with 1. 5 by Michelle Hunter. Josephine Hedstrom had 1. Nicole McKinney finished with 6. Olivia Thompson 3. She had 1 goal. 2 assists from Nicole McKinney. Sam Adams had 2. Michelle Allen 2 shots, 1 goal. Rachel Vano 3 shots, 1 goal. Madison Rivard had an assist. And Maddie Nagy finished with 6 shots today. Again, LMU out shooting Asbury 33-8 as they improved to 1-0 on the season. Again, Asbury falls to 0-4. The goals today came at the 24-22 mark when Michelle Allen scored the first goal of the season for Lincoln Memorial off of a Nicole McKinney assist. It got past the keeper from the front of the from the pass off the left wing. Second goal came at 40-53 when Rachel Vano scored her first goal of the season off of a Madison Rivard assist. That was from the left front corner of the goal on a long cross. And the final goal of the afternoon came when Olivia Thompson scored off of a Nicole McKinney assist. He took the pass and got by the keeper to put in on an open goal. Just a great move right outside to kind of free yourself up for that goal, touching it over the keeper. Again, LMU now 1-0 with the 3-0 win. We're going to take this break. When we come back, we'll be talking with our players of the game and, of course, with head coach Helly O'Dana. You're on the Lincoln Memorial University Sports Network.